The objectives of this presentation are to describe the role of motivation in learning, describe instructional strategies to help motivate adolescents, describe prevention and intervention techniques for adolescents who are struggling in school, and explain the use of a creative digital tool to help motivate students in the classroom. Motivation is a key part of an educator's job. Motivation plays a pivotal role in education as it is the driving force behind the student's ability to be engaged in their education and learn. Without motivation, students will fail to apply themselves appropriately to their learning and will fall behind fast. It is up to the teacher to create fun and engaging pedagogy that encourages the students to be motivated and engaged with their work. As motivating students is the responsibility of the teacher, there are several strategies that educators can use to drive motivation in the classroom. The four best practices are effective communication between teacher and students, helping students set academic goals and aiding them in accomplishing them, establishing a positive and empathetic classroom, and making instruction relevant to the students' lives. Perhaps the most obvious strategy that teachers can use to encourage motivation is simply communicating with their students. Teachers who take the time to get to know their students and actively listen to every one of their students go a long way in ensuring that each student is supported and engaged in the classroom. According to Parrish, engaged students recognize that they have the support of caring adults who are willing to partner with them in their learning. Another way to encourage motivation in the classroom is by helping them set goals for their academics and to guide them to accomplish these goals. According to WETA, quote, helping students to set goals for their literacy and content learning and then guiding them to focus on their progress toward attaining these goals is one way to improve motivation. In this era of standards-based learning and high-stakes testing, teachers must also ensure that individual learning goals address content and performance standards, end quote. Teachers should also strive to remain positive and empathize with each of their students. Similarly to effective communication, teachers who empathize with their students will have an advantage in classroom motivation. Romelli says it best when he writes, quote, we must help kids get past such face-saving by empathizing with them and by conducting ourselves in such a way that students know we have their backs. Building relationships with students, proving daily that risk-taking is safe in your class, can dissolve those fears and replace them with courage. End quote. Finally, an effective teacher will always work to ensure that the instruction is relevant to the students' lives. Like adults, adolescents work best when they understand the purpose behind what they are doing. Teachers can help motivate their students by simply explaining how their education will benefit them in the short and long term. Many issues can come in the way of motivating students to be successful in school. A good teacher works hard to prevent and intervene when these issues begin to appear. Here are some great intervention techniques that can be applied. If teachers notice an issue that is hindering the academic life of a student, a teacher can always discuss these concerns with students' parents. In her work, Tingley discusses her past experiences as a teacher and how her collaboration with the student's parents allowed her to discover a solution for a child who was struggling a great deal in her class, despite the student's best efforts to succeed. By working together, the teacher and the parents were able to identify the issue and take steps to solve the issue by working in the student's best interest. For this reason, and countless other examples, parents are a great resource when preventing or intervening in an adolescent's academic struggles. Another great technique in prevention and intervention is making use of student data to better understand performance and evaluate for further assistance. Test scores are an excellent resource for teachers who wish to examine patterns in a student's academic performance. By examining these test scores, teachers can better evaluate the needs of a student by learning if the issues are more likely to have been caused by a recent event or if they are more indicative of a larger problem. Finally, student motivation can be positively influenced by creative and engaging digital tools. A great example of this is video games. As the number of children who enjoy and play video games continues to rise, teachers can take advantage of this by implementing them into their lessons. While it is obvious that most video games are completely inappropriate for most educational settings, especially with children, there are a few select video games that push the boundaries of what video games can do in an educational setting. One unique video game that can and is proving to be effective in education is the Assassin's Creed series. The creators of Assassin's Creed have become aware of the educational potential behind their franchise, and have begun to implement modes in the game that are solely constructed for the use of educators to teach children about history. While these game developers work with historians to build realistic and authentic historical locations, filled with characters who live out historically accurate lives, educators can take advantage of this work by using these video games as wonderful virtual tours of locations that no longer exist. According to Justin Porter, quote, Ediel Marcoux, a middle school teacher at Intermediate School 230 in Jackson Heights, Queens, said there could be tremendous value in it for both students and educators, particularly for students who might test as primarily visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learners. For those students, she added, exposing them to a different learning vehicle is always beneficial. Another influential video game that is becoming a tool for educators is Minecraft. Minecraft's sandbox style of gameplay and an adolescent's seemingly limitless imagination have combined to make Minecraft immensely popular. But this combination also offers opportunities to educators. According to Miller, Minecraft has the ability to educate students in writing, history, social interaction, digital competence, reading, math, and problem solving.